Welcome back to Mastering Technical Communication. Now that we've conquered time sequences, let's dive into process descriptions, the art of explaining how things work, step by step. This is where we turn complex procedures into clear, followable instructions that anyone can understand. A process description answers the fundamental question, how is this done? Whether it's manufacturing, programming, experimenting, or building, every technical field relies on clear process explanations. The magic of process description lies in three key elements: clear sequence words, logical progression, and, here's the technical secret, the passive voice. Yes, that often misunderstood grammatical structure becomes your best friend in professional writing. Let's start with sequence words, your stepping stones through any process. We use first, to begin with, the initial step, then next, subsequently, after this, followed by then, the following stage, and finally, the last step, ultimately, finally. But here's what makes technical processes special. We focus on what happens to things, not who does the actions. This is where passive voice shines. Instead of saying the engineer heats the metal, we say the metal is heated. And instead of the programmer writes the code, we say the code is written. Let me show you with some detailed examples. In chemical engineering, describing distillation goes like this. First, the mixture is heated in the flask. Subsequently, vapors are produced. Then, these vapors are condensed in the cooling tube. After that, the purified liquid is collected. Finally, the product is stored in sealed containers. In software development, the process is a bit different. The code is first written in the development environment. Then, it is tested using automated tools. Subsequently, any errors are identified and corrected. After that, the application is deployed to the server. Finally, performance is monitored and optimized. Even in everyday processes like coffee production, the coffee beans are harvested from plants. Then, they are dried to reduce moisture content. Subsequently, the beans are roasted at specific temperatures. After that, they are ground to the desired consistency. Finally, the coffee is packaged for distribution. Here's your interactive moment. Press pause and describe a simple process from your field. Use at least 3 passive voice constructions. For example, the data are collected from sensors. Then, the information is analyzed by the algorithm. Subsequently, results are displayed on the interface. Try it now. Why do we use passive voice in process descriptions? Because we care about what happens to the materials, the data, the components, not about which specific person performed each action. This creates objective, professional writing that focuses on the process itself. Alright, let's dive into some more complex examples, shall we? In the field of civil engineering, when it comes to describing concrete preparation, it goes like this. The cement is mixed with sand and aggregate. Then, water is added in precise proportions. After that, the mixture is poured into molds. Once that's done, it's left to cure for 28 days. And finally, the strength is tested before it's put to use. Now, moving on to biological experiments. The samples are prepared under sterile conditions. Then, they are exposed to the test compound. Afterward, observations are recorded at regular intervals. Following that, the data are analyzed statistically. And finally, conclusions are drawn, based on the results. Quite a process, isn't it? You know, the beauty of clear process description is that it makes complex procedures accessible to experts and non-experts alike. Whether you're writing a lab report, creating manufacturing instructions, or explaining methodology in a research paper, this skill is really indispensable. So, just remember these key principles. Sequence matters, passive voice creates professionalism, and each step should logically follow from the previous one. Your reader should be able to, visualize the entire process unfolding. As you continue your studies, start analyzing process descriptions in your textbooks. Notice how they use sequence words and passive constructions. Go ahead and practice rewriting active sentences into passive ones. Before long, you'll be creating process descriptions that are models of clarity and precision. You now have the tools to explain any technical process with confidence and professionalism. Just keep practicing, keep sequencing, and watch your technical communication skills reach new heights.